Can creatine unlock hidden strengths and stamina for women athletes, or is it just a guy thing? Welcome to ATP Health Hackers. My name is Tina.
I'm Alexis.
And we have a special guest today. Her name is Kylie. How do you say her last name?
Carwitz.
Carwitz. She is a student athlete. Well, you're still a student, correct?
I'm still a student. I'm
Okay.
done with athletics now. But.
Okay, she's a soccer player from APU. We'll let her talk a little bit about the subject. She did a paper that I read and it's amazing. I don't know if I didn't let you say to read it, but it's actually fantastic. We have a lot of questions about creatine. I'm an older person in age 61, and so in the time when creatine was really popular, I want to say 20, 30 years ago, it was almost like a taboo subject. Male athletes were the ones who participated and used the product, and we also saw a lot of injuries with young athletes overusing the product. So recently, I've been getting a lot of questions asking me, like, what is your take on creatine? And honestly, my old take is not a good thought. And we were in class one day. I didn't introduce you, but anyway, I just wanted to say why.
I'm Alexis.
Okay, why we even came up with the subject of creatine in class. Someone asked me about it, and she happened to be in the class and said, "Oh, I just did a paper on it," and blah blah blah. So anyway, we're gonna unveil or whatever, unveil a lot of things about it that were new to me. I really enjoyed her paper, and I feel like it's safe to say that not even for female athletes does it seem that it's safe, but it had benefits for menopausal, menstrual cycles, and other things. I'm more interested even in learning a little bit more, and there wasn't too much about it in your paper, but you probably know about it, the cognitive help for creatine, because most of the women that come to my gym are age 50, 60, 70, and that's the area that we just can't seem to get enough information. And if it's safe, like, I would love to be able to introduce it. So Kylie, let's hear a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your soccer career.
Yeah, okay. So my name's Kylie. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona, but I moved out here to play soccer at Azusa Pacific University. I was a kinesiology major all through my undergrad, studying exercise science, and now I'm in my master's in physical education, also at Azusa Pacific University. I just really want to focus on like holistic health, especially like Christian health, everything like that, combining the two. So that's kind of what I'm going after in my master's.
We didn't even talk about that. I love
Yeah.
it, as you can see in my walls.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened with your sports, just by chance? You were a soccer player, did something happen?
Yeah, so I was a soccer player. I dealt with a lot of injuries going throughout my career. So senior year of high school, I fractured both my tibia, my fibia, tore all of my lateral ligaments in my left ankle, so I had a couple of surgeries on that. And then my senior year at APU, I tore my ACL. So just getting that all fixed up and ready to go again. So been through a couple injuries, kind of some major ones. So yeah, I'm just getting healthy again, getting back into exercise and everything like that.
Yeah. All right, so maybe let's hear about creatine and what you studied and what you learned.
Yeah, I guess what made you kind of want to decide to go that research path?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of people on the team, on my team specifically, like you mentioned, a lot of male athletes, it's just like routine for them to take it. They wake up in the morning, they take it, it's part of their day. A lot of us don't take it, don't really know anything about it, don't really talk about it, like our trainers don't talk about it with us or anything like that. My mom takes it, which is kind of funny, and so I was like, Mom, you take this and I don't, and I'm an athlete. Like, she was like, well, why don't you just like study it then? And I was like, okay, Mom.
Yes.
So yeah, I just decided, we always get to pick our research topics for our research methods classes, so I was like, why not just do it as part of school, which was really nice. So I got to learn a lot about it, and like you mentioned, a lot of the different benefits of it as well.
What were your most significant findings?
For sure. So I know you mentioned the cognitive findings, which I didn't touch on a ton in my paper because I focused more on some other things.
Well, it's geared towards athletes.
Yes,
which is great.
Geared towards athletes. But the cognitive findings for creatine is insane. Like, what they're finding right now, especially more recently, is insane benefits for anyone to take it. For cognitive benefits, I actually read a study this past week on it that was saying it increases memory by 31% and processing speed by 50%.
Yes.
So people who are taking it are seeing those cognitive benefits a lot. And some higher doses that people are taking, there's a couple studies that it's being used for sleep deprivation.
Deprivation.
Deprivation, yes.
I would say wrong.
Yeah, I was like, no, I just said that wrong. And there's some higher doses using it for that as well. So people are really experiencing the benefits of it cognitively.
What would you consider a safe dose for the average woman who's maybe not an athlete,
For sure.
someone that you've seen in here, and they're just getting started?
Yeah, so I would say like a safe average dose for someone is to do 0.1 times your body weight in kilograms. So kind of just an easy thing to like think about is if you're 70 kilograms, take 7 grams of creatine. So just a little bit of an easy conversion over. If you're 60, take 6 grams. So for someone starting out, that's typically just a good dosage to start with.
So it's more age related and body weight.
Yes.
Okay. And would they need more if they're older, or is it still based on body weight?
They typically still base it on body weight.
Okay.
If you're older though and consult your doctor about it, they might tell you to take a little bit more depending on your age, but it's really like case by case. It is safe though, so if you do take like a little bit more, it won't affect you or anything like that.
Okay, a question that I would have, and most women here, in the olden days, again, going back to my old research on it, how does it affect weight gain? Is there bloating? Is there water retention? And what about any damage to the kidneys
For sure.
or liver?
Yeah, so there is water retention as part of taking creatine. So a lot of people one of the myths is that if you take creatine, you're gonna gain weight or you're gonna be bloated. You will be maybe a little bloated for a period of time taking it because part of it is retaining water in your body. But that weight gain that you're going to see over time if you continue to take it is more in muscle mass and your skeletal muscle than it is water retention over time. That water retention only lasts for a period of time after you take it. But the real weight gain is coming with your skeletal muscle mass.
Okay.
I guess what about specifically kind of age restrictions? Because did you come across it in your studies? Because I've seen it actually with young athletes, their kidney values definitely go up when they
Yeah, we have a personal story about that. And when the mother contacted me, her husband wanted to put her son on it. He was a young athlete, I think 13 or 14. So
I think even younger.
Yeah, younger. No, because he's 16 now. So
Okay.
anyway, he had just happened to have a physical, and they did a blood test, and after just a couple months of using creatine, which they probably are doing too much, that's why I'm saying that's really important to know the dosing amount, but his liver enzymes were through the roof. So I just, as a auntie,
And kidney.
and kidney, I just said, oh God, stop doing it. You know what I mean? But I want to have more knowledge about it now because I did kind of walk in fear with it before. And I love that you spoke up that day because that means I really need to know more about it. And I like to constantly educate myself in what's new and upcoming. So I love when a young student, athlete especially, can teach someone in an older realm.
An old dog nutrix.
Yeah, an old dog nutrix. Okay.
So one of the like scary things about creatine is in younger athletes, younger people, especially people doing weightlifting and a sport every single day, training a ton, the benefits of creatine with their age group isn't a huge gap.
Okay.
So the people who take it who are athletes, younger athletes especially, and the people who don't aren't seeing a ton of difference in their like metrics or anything like that. The only time is if you pair it with resistance training, you're going to see a little bit of a difference in the two people, but there's not a significant amount difference in younger individuals where I would say you have to take it if you're in high school. I don't think it's necessarily beneficial to take it in high school because of those.
So you would recommend against it?
Yeah, maybe against it if you're a younger athlete, especially too because when they're not seeing a ton of change with their other peers, that's when dosing comes into play. They think they have to higher their dose, take more of it to see a bigger result. But unfortunately, when you're younger and you're eating a bunch of animal products and you're exercising regularly with resistance training, you're not going to see a ton of difference with your peers. So the benefit, I don't think, outweighs the potential cons of kidneys or liver functioning or anything like that. So I would say if you're a younger athlete, I don't think it's too important to be taking. I do think if you're older, especially women, because we have around 20 to 30% lower creatine than men do, it's really important to be taking.
Okay, did you find that it significantly helped your game?
I think at this stage of my life, I don't think it necessarily helped my like soccer performance, but I do go back to like the cognitive functioning.
Okay.
I think it helped a ton when I take it. I can see myself thinking more clearly, not being as foggy. I I do think I wrote about it a little bit in my paper, but during the menstrual cycle, there's certain parts where creatine is actually super helpful. When estrogen levels are lower, creatine kind of supplements that fatigue, especially if you're doing like sprint intervals or anything like that, the high intensity.
Definitely not me.
The high intensity workouts. So I would say like during soccer, during that time of when I was experiencing that, it did help a little bit, but overall of like skeletal muscle mass, my strength compared to people on my team who weren't taking it wasn't a significant difference, but it is still helpful. I did find that it was helpful to take.
And then what about for the complete non-athlete?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
So I still think it's helpful to take creatine if you're a non-athlete, but I will say the skeletal muscle and the muscle mass that's being built when you do take creatine significantly jumps when you pair it with resistance training.
Okay.
So if it's not paired with any form of resistance training, you might not see the benefits that someone else would see.
Would they see the cognitive
But
difference?
they would see the cognitive difference, and that's why I would say it's
those are the
still
questions
good.
that people ask me, because like they don't consider spinning like a high intensity because they aren't doing it that way. You can make it that way, but they don't. So like if an average woman, say 65, she spins like in a fat burning zone, but has like all the cognitive deficits, you know, and energy deficits, they could still benefit.
Yes.
And would you recommend a smaller dose for them, or still the same dosing size?
I would recommend still the same dosing size.
Okay.
They're going to see the same cognitive benefits that everyone else
Okay.
would as well. It's really important too. I don't think I mentioned this in my paper, but 2 out of 3 every like dementia and Alzheimer's patient is a woman. So we do experience a little bit of that more cognitive decline than men do. So getting creatine in our supplements early kind of helps our brain.
Is there a particular brand that you recommend, or?
Yeah, for sure. So there are 2 different kinds of creatine. There's monohydrate and there's HCl. So for someone who experiences a lot of like stomach aches or needs something that will absorb better, maybe has like allergies, just has a hard time digesting things, the HCl is better. It absorbs easy. But I would say if you don't experience stomach aches or anything like that, I really like the Naked brand.
I love Naked,
yes, it's very clean. You can get the Naked creatine. I think it's on Amazon. It's my favorite one.
And I think we can find it on FullScoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something we may have to try.
One thing about Amazon, I do know that they don't rotate their shelves as well.
That makes sense.
So I like using FullScoop, which is a dispensary that is inspected. If say a company changes, say Thorne changes ownerships, they go back in and inspect the lab thoroughly, and they check for things like rotation of expiration dates and things like that. I have bought vitamins from Amazon. I'm a Amazon lover. I'm no against Amazon, but I mean, and I have bought expired vitamins, so you don't want to waste your money. So always be like cognitive and think about what you're buying before you buy it too. Any more questions from you, Alexis?
No, I think a great key takeaway. I don't know if it's American philosophy that like more is better.
Yes.
When that's not really the case across the whole board, I think, of anything really. So I think
Did
it's
you have
really
a specific
important.
brand that you liked?
Of creatine?
Oh, besides Naked. She's
Naked.
See, I actually need
yes.
it. See?
Yes.
I just proved you.
Naked.
When we do up our follow-up, I'm gonna do 30 days of creatine. We'll do a follow-up.
Okay.
30 days from now, we'll do a follow-up podcast,
Yeah, I'll
and
try.
I'll let you know how, and you can take it too for your periods or whatever, your menstrual cycle.
I would say too, it is kind of a common myth that people just take it in the morning
Okay.
with their breakfast or anything like that, but the best way to take it is actually post-exercise with carbs and protein, because it absorbs better into your muscle when the insulin spike is there.
Okay.
So that's like the best way to take it.
So
All right,
next
so
time.
key takeaway, dosing, important, after training, resistance training, with carbs and protein. Okay, very good. So that's an assignment for you guys to
Okay,
take
so
note of.
health hack of the day, look up into your favorite brand, which she said Naked. But you can come to us with questions, not just about this, but any other products you want us to do research on. We do try to consult with someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable than, say, us. And also, don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe to ATP Health Hackers.
And if you have any more questions,
Yeah, any kind
We'll
of
pass them along,
questions,
too.
you send it to our email, and we'll get them to Kylie, and she'll get them back to us. You mentioned surgery though, I just wanted to say, we pray for a successful
Thank
surgery.
you. Yes.
And we want you to bounce back quickly,
Thank you.
and we will help with any of your recovery here. It's been
Thank
successful.
you. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that was great.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
That was great.